So the first thing is you should be seeing my screen because I'm sharing it.
Yes, I see.
Okay, and that's back agent. So really to be a transaction coordinator, this is all you need. And whenever you're going to load a file, you need the IBS, the buyer rep, the contract. You're going to need all that executed, meaning not just with one party's initials, but with everybody's. So all you do is you go to dhsrealty.backagent.net, you log in, and when you log in, the screen looks like this, and all you do is go up here to transactions. And when you click on transactions, there's going to be, oh, hold on, let me go to a different, give me 1 second. Let me go to a different screen.
Okay.
The only reason is because it works best with Chrome.
Okay.
Okay, that's good to know. Is that it works?
So that's perfect.
Okay, perfect. All right, let me. I'll have my password saved on this.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I am. I just don't have it saved on Chrome. Okay, so
no, the thing, it keeps freezing.
Oh, it does? Okay, how about now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so here we are. We're back at Back Agent, and all you do is hit the Transactions tab, and you're going to see over here on the right, it says Add a Transaction. All you do is click on it.
Okay.
That's going to be for every transaction. Now, I always tell people that it doesn't matter if it's an apartment, if it's a lease, if it's a house lease, a sale, it doesn't matter. Just always select residential. So you have four options, but you there?
Only residential. Yep.
Yeah, just always pick residential. Now, once you hit residential, you'll have either sale or lease. So it's going to be pretty simple. Most of the time, I'm sure it'll be a sale. If it's a lease, then you'll hit lease. That means you have a tenant or a landlord. Sale means you're with the buyer or the seller. Let's assume we have a sale. So I'm going to say I'm with the buyer. So I'm going to hit sale. And the next screen, you're going to have these options. And I always tell everybody to go right to pre-closing. So don't hit start, hit pre-closing. When you hit that, you're golden. The next screen, all you do is pick if you're with the seller, the buyer, or with both. So let's just say that under this transaction, we're with the buyer. You're going to select buyer. Then it says select client. You have to click on that link and put in a buyer. So I'm just going to act like we're working with Daffy Duck. Now I put in their first name, last name, and under company, you can just put buyer twice. Okay, so that does not matter. Company and industry does not matter. So just put their name and then just put buyer. Then their email, you have to put in their email. But again, I don't care whether the email is fictional or real, because you guys are going to have the real email. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They're your client. So I don't care about that. It's not that important. All you do is hit add client. And again, you need first name, last name. Just put buyer or seller or tenant or landlord. Put their email and then hit add contact. All right, so now you have them in that little box as the client. And then all you do is hit create new transaction. When you hit that, the next screen, you're going to see a bunch of orange boxes.
Okay.
And all you do is you go left to right, and you've got to gray out those orange boxes.
It'll rock you right through it.
So let's start. We're going to do this completely to the end. So let's click on property. I click on it. Now, it's either going to be in the MLS or it's going to be like a build job. If it's in the MLS or build job, you still have to hit set property. When you hit set property, you scroll down and it'll say, do you want to pull it from the MLS or do you want to add it as a basic, property? If you do it add from the MLS, you could do something like this. Now I'm going to show you because I just showed a property today and the address was 7900 Ferndale. Now all I did was 7900 and F, and I hit search and it doesn't show anything. So now I hit ERN and hit search and it doesn't do anything. Then I do Dale and hit search, and there it is. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of error proof. And then all I'd have to do is hit that, and it'll load it. Okay. And do y'all do mostly new homes, Rolanda?
We just
50-50?
half and half.
Okay, so now you know how to do it if it's in the MLS, right? Right here.
Sit down and kind of put the
Yeah, I like that, and it brings the information over.
Yeah, and once it pulls it up, now that would only be a listed property. Once it pulls it up, all you do is hit select, and it pre-populates everything. Now, let's say that it's not in the MLS. Then you still hit, this will be orange, and I always go left to right. So you'll hit property, you'll hit set property, and when you scroll down, it's going to say enter basic info. And you would just click on it, and that's where you would physically type in the address.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't have to be exact for me. Like Ferndale is good enough. The city, let's just say it was Forney and the zip code. Okay. And then this is where you put in the price. So let's just say the house was 300,000. All right. So now you hit set property and watch that orange box. It went gray. See that?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we go to the next box, contacts. This will be for lease or sale. It's going to be the exact same thing. You always want to hit that pre-closing, and that gives you just the boxes that you need to gray out. So because I already put Daffy Duck in there, because I logged in, it's going to show me as the agent. Okay. You scroll down. That's why you're going to want to have the logins for the agents on your team, so it shows their name here.
Gotcha.
All right, so then you go down here to title. You click on add title. Now, it might be that y'all use the same title company like over and over. And if so, you can type in the closer's name. So you can see that when I type in Amber, it's got her right there. I just click on it and it pre-fills it. If it doesn't, okay, then you have to, if it doesn't show her here, then you have to put her crap in here. And then right here for company, I just put title. You see what I'm saying? Just make it easy on you. Right here under email for the title person, it does have to be the exact email because that's who's getting the CDA.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't care about the email for the buyer, the seller. I don't care if your email's right, but you want yours right, and it'll pre-fill your agent. But I need the title company to be right because that's who's going to get the invoice. All right, so then you can add client, and now you see that we did have 3 people. Now we have 2 people. All right, so now this is your client, Daffy Duck. Well, you have to add the seller. And you can look on the contract, or you can just put a generic name. I don't care because they're not our client. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the seller is not your client. It's the other person's client. So I don't need an exact name because you're about to load the contract, and the contract's going to have their name.
Exactly. Okay.
Does that make sense? So I'm
Yes,
real flexible on that. Okay. So, and really all you need is a first name, last name, because you don't even put a phone number or nothing. You don't have any of that. It's the other client.
Yeah.
So you hit add
That's not your
client. Yeah. And then you can see there's only one person left, and that's where you put in the agent. So it says add seller agent. You click on it, and this is where you would put, Joe Blow with Ebby and Joe's email. Okay, and again, I don't care about that crap being perfect. Now, after you do that, it says, do you want to share it or keep it in your own? Just keep it in your own. Nobody needs to know that crap.
Okay.
Okay, look at that. Now we're done. That's great. All right. So now we go to the next box. Now, this has 14 items in it. And let me tell you, I don't care about half of this crap, how you answer it. So this says, when did you first work with the client? You got to hit change. And I don't care. Just pick a date. It doesn't matter. It's not like an audit issue. You know what I'm saying? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking up.
Okay. So like here, I don't care. I'm just going to pick the first. And then you have to hit save. All right, then it says, will another party get a referral? Okay, that's where you want to put no. Even though Janelle's getting a referral, you'll put no because he's in our office. Because he's in
Okay.
the office, I don't need a referral form. Y'all already have that between you guys.
Uh-huh.
So you'll just put no. Then it says, when was the contract executed? You'll pick whatever date it was. You'll hit save. You'll hit closing date. When's the option? How many days? 7 days in the option. That'll be in paragraph 23.
Okay, so it's kind of going to save all these important dates for me. Is
Yeah,
what it
and
looks
you
like.
just exactly, and you just plug them in like 21 days for financing. You got to get through them, so you got to answer all of them. Now, I don't care who does the survey, just pick one because it's in the contract.
Uh-huh.
How many days for the survey? I mean, I just put 3. It's not a real stickler. The most
Okay.
important questions are the closing date and the price. So here it says, what's the closing date? Let's say it was the end of March. You pick the 31st. You hit save. Is the seller's agent a member of your firm? Most likely not. So you'll put no. What type of property is it? It's probably a 1 to 4. It could be a condo. You'll pick 1 to 4 most of the time. What's the ownership? Don't worry about it. Just always pick conventional. Nobody cares. Is the home built before 78? If it is, put yes. If it's not, put no. Is there an HOA? If there is, put yes. If there's a no, put no. Is there a MUD? Most of the time, no. Is it in a flood zone? Most of the time, no. And then you get to what is the sales price? You need to know that because that's what your CDA will be based on. So we're going to act like it's 300,000.
Okay.
And then it says what type of financing. I really don't care. It's going to be on your third-party financing. So just make the question go away by picking something. Here you can hit ignore. You can hit ignore. And then it's going to say when is the actual closing date, and you'll pick the 31st. You hit save and watch that orange box go away. Boom. All right, here's the hardest one, which is really not hard once you get used to it. Documents. So you're going to click on it. This is where you're going to have all the documents saved on your desktop. So this is a generic type of transaction, but it's going to say you're required for all this. So you'll hit information about brokerage firm, attached document. It just walks you through the steps. It'll say in a second, where are you going to load it from? Your computer. It'll say, go find it, upload the file. Then you got to find it. So I'm just going to add some generic stuff here, but we're going to add everything in here because I want to show you what it looks like to submit it. So I'm just going to load something, but basically what that would say really is IBS because you would have loaded it that way.
Exactly.
You select it and you just hold on a second and it loads it. It loads it all by itself. You don't even have to do anything. I'm not touching my screen. It's just loading.
Uh-huh.
You just wait a second. Let's just say that this was the IBS. You just do add a page. And then right up here at the top, it says create document. And you can see that it's basically loading it. And you just hit save and add another. And then you can see that you're back at documents in just a second. And now so let's go back to documents just to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, here's your transaction. This is the hypothetical. Okay, see now we're at 6 documents. So whenever you go back in, it always saves it. And now we're going to load the buyer rep agreement. You see what I'm doing? Pretty basic.
Yeah, going through the motion. Just have to
And
make
you
sure
just find it. Yeah, I mean, it's all, I'm just going to load something random. Okay, but I mean, it would obviously be the buyer rep agreement. Okay, you'll wait for it. Now, I'm going to act like we've loaded it all because I'm just going to ask for I'm going to ask for an exemption because this is just training. But basically, you would just add, you would do all those. See, now you can see there's 5 of them. Okay, now you go down and find the general information. I'm going to just request an exemption because it's training to make it go quicker. But you would actually find it and load it.
Uh-huh.
Now, let's say that you're working with a build job. Okay, well, on a build job, you're not going to have third-party financing. Okay, and you're not going to have an MLS printout. So actually on printout and on seller's disclosure and third-party, if it was a build job, you would just hit required now, request exemption, and you would just type in new build. Because there's not those addendums on a new build. Okay, so anything that's not applicable, you would hit the required and just ask for an exemption. So like right here, if it was a new build, there wouldn't be a seller's disclosure. If there was, you'd find it there. But if it was an exemption, you would click that, and you would just scroll down and just type in new build.
New build, gotcha.
Okay, right. So let me get through these, and then I'm going to show you what happens, because it's pretty cool. It becomes like so quick. So now we have the residential contract. We know we got to find that. So you hit attach document, and you hit upload now. You go seek it. They're going to find it. Okay, let's just say hypothetically, let me find something. Okay, so let's just say that it was, let me just say that that was the contract. So I'm going to hit open. It's going to just do its own thing. It's going to put it all there. I'm not touching anything. It's going to load it. Now, if this was the contract, I don't need to add each page. If I wanted, I could just hit that little button and watch that. It puts them all right there. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you hit
everything.
create document, and then you have to hit save. And now you'll see there's only one document left, and it's the third party. Now, if this was a new home, there's not a third party financing addendum, so you would just hit request exemption. If it was a pre-owned, then you would, find it. But if it was a cash transaction, you also wouldn't have a third party. Okay, I'm just going to put training. All right. Now watch this. Watch that orange box. Okay, it went away, and look what got yellow, the submit button. All right, so here's the deal. Once you've grayed out all these boxes, that button will go yellow. You'll hit it, and it'll say create a CDA, and then it takes you into the CDA. Okay? Now,
this is the important part.
Yeah, this is the important part. And this is where you're going to need to have a calculator or something, because let's just say hypothetically that this is sachets. Okay. Now, right here, it's going to say sachet because you logged in for her, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So up here, let's say that it was a $300,000 property and the commission's 3%. Well, that means it's 9,000. So the commission is 9,000. And you tab, and you can see that right now it shows that sachet is getting 9,000.
Okay.
In hers, it'll automatically show 225 right here.
Okay, for the transaction fee.
It'll already show that. Now, what you need to do is you need to take 30% of this figure, not this, because Jonelle gets 30% of the gross. So you'll take 3 times 9, that's 2,700, and you'll go right here to add a payout. Okay. And you'll do external referral. And right here, you'll put 2,700. And then right here, you'll put Jonelle's name.
Okay.
Okay. Now watch. When it tabs, okay, you can see that you're getting 30% of 9,000. She's paying the 225, and then she gets $6,075. And that won't be my name. That'll be her name, because you logged in under hers.
Gotcha.
Okay. All you do is scroll down and hit create funding request. Okay, now it says add a phone number. So you have to go up. If it says you need to add something, that's the title company phone number. So you can just add it, and then you scroll down and you hit create funding request, and it takes you to another page, and all you do is hit continue to next step.
Okay.
And then you're going to get 5 questions. You don't even have to answer them, or you don't even have to read them. Just hit yes, 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 and then submit, and you're done like a dinner.
Wow. So
okay,
I will
and then I get an email and I review it. And if there's an issue, I'll just text you and say, hey, do this or that. But you're done. So when Sachet goes to the title company, they will fund it, and they will have a check for Jonelle. They'll have a check for her, and then they'll wire the 225 into my account.
Gotcha. Okay. So I will just need to make sure I have everyone's access so that I can complete their CDA.
Exactly. And I'm going to stop training for a second, and because I'm going to save this for you, but that way it's not real long, but I'm going to talk to you for a second.
Okay.
So hold on. Let me, because that was a quick training and that gets you right to the point.